Praise be to you, Yahuwah my Elohim. Praise be to your Son, Yahusha my Messiah. I come at your feet in the name of your Son. Thank you for the knowledge you pour unto me, and thank you for breaking all the shackle that was bound on my face. Yahuwah, you are the only true living God. Indeed. Thank you for your Yahusha, whom you truly love. You are Elohim, the Elohim of the Yahudim.
Shalom, family. Welcome to the Remnant Awakens. I'm your brother, Pierre Ligi, and today we step into something sacred, something holy, something set apart since the beginning of time. Let's start with Leviticus chapter 23, where Yahuwah gave us something extraordinary, a calendar. But not just any calendar. This isn't tied to the seasons we're used to or to the systems of man. No, this is Yahuwah's calendar. The creator of heaven and earth defines these moments, and he calls them Moedim. In Hebrew, that word means appointed times. Think about that for a moment. Not random days, not traditions passed down through generations of men, but specific appointed times that Yah himself set apart. And here's something we have to understand. Yahuwah doesn't say, these are the feasts of the Jews. No, he says, these are my feasts, his feasts, his appointments with his people. They were designed from the beginning of time to draw us closer to him, to teach us his ways, to challenge us to step outside the patterns of this world and align ourselves with his divine order. These feasts of Yahuwah aren't traditions that have passed away. No, family, they're eternal. Yahusha Ha'Mashiach himself walked in them. He didn't ignore them or set them aside. Rather, his life and mission were deeply, deeply intertwined with them. Let's think about it. He died during Passover. That wasn't accidental. That was divine orchestration. Yah's hand, his purpose, his plan unfolding in perfect timing. And then we have first fruits. On that appointed day, he rose. That wasn't just a moment of victory. That was fulfillment. Fulfillment of what had been foreshadowed for generations. Foreshadowed through the harvests, through the offerings, through the design of Yahuwah himself. And then 50 days later, Shavuot, Pentecost, the Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit was poured out. Again, perfectly timed. Do we see the pattern here, family? These aren't random. These are appointments meant to reveal Yahuwah's redemptive plan, his eternal covenant with his people. These feasts, they are alive with purpose, alive with Yah's presence, and still calling to us today. Now let's talk about the feasts themselves, starting with Passover or Pesach. This feast is all about redemption. It takes us back to Egypt, where Yahuwah redeemed his people, literally pulled them out of slavery with a mighty hand. Redemption. That's what's at the core here. But this isn't just history we're talking about. In the same way Yah redeemed Israel, he's redeeming us today. And Yahusha, our Messiah, he stepped into that role. He became the perfect lamb. The blood shed on the cross mirrors the blood placed on the doorposts during that first Passover. It's all connected, family. It's prophecy fulfilled, layer upon layer of meaning woven into these appointed times. And then we look forward to the fall feasts, Yom Teruah, the Feast of Trumpets. This one It's a wake-up call, an awakening. Think of the shofar blasts echoing through the air. They remind us that Yah has not forgotten his people. He has not forgotten his covenant. And this feast, Yom Teruah, it also points to the future, to Yahusha's return, to the day the shofar will sound again, louder than ever, and Yah's people will be gathered, awakened, brought back to him in fullness. It's not just tradition. No, family. It's prophecy in progress. Family. Yahusha, our Messiah. He didn't cancel these feasts. They weren't abolished, erased, or done away with. No, he fulfilled them. And listen carefully. He will fulfill the rest. That's something we can't overlook. Let's start with Passover again. Yahusha, the perfect lamb, was sacrificed not at some random time, but precisely during this feast. And first fruits, his resurrection wasn't an afterthought. It was the exact fulfillment of that appointed time. Shavuot, Pentecost, wasn't just an event in history, family. It was part of Yah's divine timeline. The Ruach HaKodesh being poured out on that day. It wasn't accidental. Yahusha fulfilled it perfectly. An eternal rhythm woven into Yahuwah's plan for his people. But let's not stop at the ones already fulfilled. Because the fall feasts, they're next. Family, listen, these are shadows of what's coming. Yahusha will return with the sound of the shofar, fulfilling Yom Teruah, the Feast of Trumpets. And on Yom Kippur, the atonement will be complete. A full restoration of covenant, of intimacy with the Father. Sukkot, the Feast of Tabernacles. It points to the moment Yahusha will dwell among us physically. Think about that. Dwelling with us, Emmanuel, God with us, family. These feasts, they are milestones. They are markers on the journey of Yah's redemptive plan, from creation to the return of Yahusha and beyond. Here's the thing, family, we don't have a physical temple today. That's true. But does that mean we stop honoring Yahuwah's appointments? No, it doesn't. Yahuwah's word is eternal. His calendar hasn't changed. These feasts, these Moedim, they weren't tied to a specific building, but to the people and their covenant with him. So, how do we celebrate? Well, let's look at what the scriptures show us. In the Torah, the feasts were celebrated both communally and in the heart. The temple was central during certain times, yes, but the focus was always on obedience, on remembrance, on drawing near to Yahuwah. That hasn't changed. We still have the Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit, dwelling with us, guiding us, reminding us of these truths. Start where you are. If you're alone, you can still set aside the time. Pray. Study Yahuwah's word. Fast, if that's what the feast calls for. Reflect. If you're with others, your family, your community, you can come together, you can talk about what these holy days mean. Maybe you prepare a meal that reminds you of the season, just like the Israelites did during Pesach, with the unleavened bread and lamb. Maybe you sound the shofar. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's about the heart. Even now, without a temple, we can remember these days because they teach us. They teach us about Yah's promises, His faithfulness, His redemption. They point us back and they point us forward to Yahusha and to what's still to come. It's not about rituals for ritual's sake. It's about relationship, about covenant, about aligning ourselves with Yahuwah's eternal rhythm. And one more thing, family. Be bold. Don't let the pressures of the world or the customs around you sway you. You're not missing out when you choose Yahuwah's ways. No, you're walking in His will, in His truth. That, right there, that's where true blessing is found. Family, as we come to the end of this journey together today, I want to leave you with this central truth. These feasts, these Moedim of Yahuwah, they're not about being Jewish, or about culture, or about man-made rituals. They're about being set apart as a people in covenant with Yahuwah, the creator of heaven and earth. You see, these appointments, they remind us of where we've come from and where we're heading. They anchor us in His promises, and they prepare us for the days ahead. Each feast, every appointed time, is a marker of Yahuwah's faithfulness, a rhythm designed to bring His people closer to Him, to align us with His divine timeline, to remind us that we are not of this world, but of His kingdom. Family, I want you to hold on to this truth. The calendar of Yahuwah isn't stuck in the past. It's alive and active, calling us back to Him, to His ways, His covenant, His plan. And today, He's calling His remnant, His faithful ones, to step away from the traditions of men, from the holidays and patterns of this world, and to embrace His holy days, His appointments, His feasts, because in doing so, we walk in His will, in His rhythm, in His blessings. I pray these truths resonate with you, that they challenge you to dig deeper into His Word, and that they inspire you to celebrate these Moedim, these holy appointments, with joy, with reverence, and with understanding. This journey is not about perfection. It's about the heart, about the covenant, about being His. And with that, family, we close for today. This has been the Remnant Awakens. I'm your brother, Pierre Ligi. May Yahuwah bless you and keep you, and may His face shine upon you. Shalom. See you all on the next episode.
Praise be to you, Yahuwah my Elohim. Praise be to your Son, Yahusha my Messiah. I come at your feet in the name of your Son. Thank you for the knowledge you pour unto me, and thank you for breaking all the shackle that was bound on my face. Yahuwah, you are the only true living God. Indeed. Thank you for your Yahusha, whom you truly love. You are Elohim.